Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to American Civil War and UK history. We come to a very important location, and to explain it is Bryan Cheeseboro.
Thank you, Darren. This is the Contrabands and Freedmen Cemetery in Alexandria, Virginia. It is mostly, I believe it was a freedmen's camp used as a freedmen's hospital during the war, and there were people who came here for refuge. And in the process, this is men, women, children. In the process, some of these men also enlisted in the Army, in the United States Colored Troops. So for this, they've been able to identify some things here. They've been able to identify people where they, if they don't have a name, they at least know something about the person. All of these in the ground that you see are people who are buried there who they don't know, they're unknown. But some of these stones, if we can find, there's some over here I know. See right here, grave of a child. There's 3 of these that say grave of a child. Over here we have 2 that say grave of an adult. Okay, if you would want to back that up a bit, you'll see the outline of the coffin there. And another thing, there's a map over here. There's some great reliefs, or whatever they're called, that they've done when they dedicated this place. So there's some more information. There's this wonderful statue here to emancipation and freedom. And it mentions on the plaque here about Alexandria, there's over 20,000 enslaved African Americans who are fleeing from the Confederacy coming to this place. So there's people coming from Virginia, people coming from Maryland. Since DC already had emancipation, I don't know how many came to from DC to here, unless it was involving maybe needing medical care or something, but I kind of doubt that. But anyway, you'll see on here, there are names here. John Berry, Susan Ellikin, Henry Julius, Isabella Dudley, Strather Shelton, Lucy Cole, and so on. And some of them have actually been where there are living descendants who have been found connected to these people. So this place is living history as we speak. And also here, you'll see where there was a freedmen's school here, where they show children learning to read at an Alexandria freedmen's school. This is the beginnings of Reconstruction. Okay? And there is the site, how it's mapped out. We're right here, and they're showing where the Colored Troop section, this is of the cemetery itself. I'll get to the Colored Troop section in just a minute. Over here, this sculpture, I forget what these things are called when they're kind of on a wall like this. But anyway, it shows people escaping slavery and coming to this place. Okay? So we're outside of DC, we're in Alexandria. DC is not that far away, but they're coming to this place and they're finding refuge here. This is where the place was. It was right here. It's right on the Potomac River. And this is all of Alexandria City here. Places Vinegar Hill, Haiti, the Bottoms, Newtown. I don't know if these places still exist as far as Alexandria is concerned today. The last thing we'll show you is when the USCT soldiers, when they died, they were originally buried here because of the segregated racial climate of the time, but they as soldiers fought for the right to be buried in the same cemetery as white soldiers. So today, the Alexandria National Cemetery, which is some way, I think that way, that is where those soldiers were later taken from here, reburied in the Alexandria, what became the Alexandria National Cemetery, to be buried with other soldiers. What we have remaining is this plaque showing, as American citizens, we have a right to fight for the protection of her flag. That right is granted, and we are now sharing equally the dangers and hardships in this mighty contest. We ask that our bodies may find their resting place in the ground designated for a burial of the brave defenders of our country's flag. So I'm certainly glad that those men fought for that right. And these are the beginnings of citizenship for black people. African American is certainly a term that we use today and was even used back then in the 19th century. But when we're talking about, for me at least, before 1865, many of these people did not experience citizenship yet, any kind of equality, any kind of rights. And these are the beginnings of these things. So we're glad that those soldiers fought for that right to be recognized as soldiers and to be reburied. We're glad for those people who came here for medical care, seeking freedom, getting education here. And again, these are the beginnings of Reconstruction as we know it. So, thank you very much, Darren.
Thank you. And I'll just leave, we'll finish the live with a really good look at this sculpture here.